Burlesque is striptease. So it's a really old art form originating in like the 30s and 40s, and it had a revival. And so there's many burlesque shows across the city now, and it's just an artful dance routine where you do a striptease, and with burlesque you strip down to pasties and undercrackers. Yeah,
no,
I have seen some shows where performers strip down, but traditionally it's just pasties and panties. Yeah, or men can do it too, so they would have like a jockstrap or whatever. Yeah. There's a lot of work that goes into burlesque acts. People don't always realize. Yeah,
it's a lot more tasteful, and I think it's also. I think burlesque traditionally too was a commentary on things that are happening, what's going on in pop culture, like society.
The word burlesque actually means like a parody or to laugh. Don't quote me on that exactly, but I know the roots of the word are basically in making a mockery of something. That's one of the really cool things about burlesque, actually, is that it's completely generated by the performer. There's not a lot of art forms where you get to see a performer come up with exactly what they want. You have total control over your routine. So that's why you end up with like a lot of really funny variations and a lot of different personal styles, because people are really just being themselves, and that makes it really empowering. Mm-hmm. I think our signature style is comedic, for sure. We get very specific with the characters we're portraying. It's more like
more
plot.
Themed.
Yeah,
it's more themed. It's more geared towards a nerdy audience. Not really so much, I guess, traditional necessarily. People who come to our shows are typically more into they're into the theme. They're not really necessarily into seeing the people, or they're not quite as excited seeing boobs, but they're like crazy excited about all the
obviously it's a bonus. Nobody's like sad about the stripping.
They're more. I think they get more excited over the theme and the stories that the performers tell.
It's grown in popularity. It's grown a lot,
And worldwide too.
Yeah,
right? Like it's become a thing in the last few years.
I was performing at the London Burlesque Festival in May, and with burlesque festivals they take submissions from all over the world. So you submit to get into the show, and then they just select certain applicants, and so you get to go and perform in the showcase. And for the first time this year, the London Burlesque Festival, which is the biggest burlesque festival in terms of like literal size, I think it's 15 days, the festival. I think it was 17 this year actually, and they had a Nerdlesque night for the first time ever. So it's definitely reached like its peak of popularity right now, and it's actually happening all over the world. Yeah, we've had booths at a lot of conventions. We had one at Fan Expo for the past like 3 or 4 years, and there definitely are still a lot of people who are like, "What's this? What's happening here?" And we have to explain it. Oh yeah, for sure.
It was something that we just, I don't know. We've been very fortunate in that, like since we started, it's kind of snowballed into this crazy thing. We've always produced bigger shows at bigger venues. I think the most we've ever had as an audience was like 700 people in one night.
Yeah, for our Simpsons burlesque show was totally sold out.
And even like tomorrow night at the Great Hall here, I'm sure it's probably going to be packed. Last year we packed the entire that hall over there, which was like
crazy.
A good like few hundred people in one night. It's crazy. Yeah.
It's up to each performer to decide, but I would say yes. When I perform, yes. I feel like that's an extension of being a feminist, for sure.
I think so, too.
It feels really awesome to be on stage.
It's very empowering. We definitely promote all body types, all genders, all, like, whatever, if you feel like you want to be on stage and strut your stuff, go for it.
Totally.
And I think that's like, it's really awesome. I think people I've had people come up to us like after shows who are just like, wow, this is really, really empowering. Like it really opened my eyes. And you know, people who weren't necessarily feeling good about their bodies will go up on stage and like they'll do their thing, and then after that they just feel so empowered and just feel beautiful because they
Totally.
are, right?
Our audiences are generally pretty equally split between women and men as well. So it's something that women want to see. It's not, you know, it's not,
exactly. It's not
just
like
for
the male gaze, or whatever.
No. We have nothing against pornography, but no, it doesn't fit that classification.
So. Not that I'm not against it, pornography at all. I think it's great that it exists, but I don't know. I think we're like the babies, the baby steps. I don't know.
I think more come to our shows to laugh, and there's an element of sexuality, but it's just celebrated in a more lighthearted way.
It's cheekier, and tasteful. Like my mom came to the show.
Many people's parents have come to our shows. Yeah,
like I don't think that if it was porn, we'd feel really comfortable with our parents being there.
Probably not.